with a hopefully very exciting game from Starseries Season 5. Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to Starseries Season 5. As always, I am Basekip, bringing you guys this game. This is just a cast off the ticket from me, so I believe your official English coverage for this game is Sheever, so if you buy the ticket, make sure that you check her out. But I'm Basekip, I think I already said that. This is Starseries 5, this is a group stage matchup. It's going to be Freedom of the Action, so FOTA, or fota, over on the Radiant side, up against 4FC, or 4 Friends plus Krilly, over on the Dire. We don't have any stand-ins, as you can see, and already getting underway with the draft. Very speedily, we're going to see a Coddle and a Magnus ban out from fota, and the Nyx and Wisp removed by 4FC. So Barret is going to make it through. Darkseer will as well, and a little bit more standard as far as the bans go. Well, for this one, compared to the metagame that we've seen over the last few weeks, though, Silencer is there to try and stir things up a little bit. So we'll see if anyone tries to make anything. We'll see if 4FC or FOTA try and grab it here. I guess Silencer a little bit untested as far as the competitive scene goes, since he's only just been implemented in his new form, and it worked out quite well for Empire in the last game. Gives you some nice all-around utility. You've got the silence, you've got some global presence, you've got some big team fight presence, and as we saw as well, you can get some good lane presence going as well, especially with a Keeper of the Light to help you spam out the curse. But Freedom of the Action, not going to be too surprising from them so far. They're going to pick up a Rubik and a Gyro. So nice to see they get the flexibility out of the Gyro pickup, which is always good, and I think I've rambled on this a couple of times. The nice thing about Gyro is you can, as we've seen, successfully run him mid against a number of different mids. He's even pretty good against Darkseer, frankly. You can run him as your safe lane carry, you can run him in an offensive tri-lane, and the only thing that really needs to switch around is his skill build slightly. And yes, Rubik has been picked. Rubik is my favorite hero, so looking forward to some big plays. Though, Rubik, less exciting now since we've got Magnus banned out. We're probably not going to see anything like an Enigma, but anyway. So, we've got a Lone Druid ban out right now from FOTA, and 4FC, having covered the Lifestealer a little bit with the Shadow Demon, are going to switch over in that direction. As far as a potential tri-lane versus tri-lane situation goes, it's pretty even on both sides between SD Nakes and Rubik Gyro, so I don't know if 4FC will be going for that necessarily, especially given that they've got the strongest offlaner in the game, sort of in the Darkseer. So no real reason to put an offensive tri-lane out unless they see an obvious reason to do so and an obvious potential to exploit the situation. So we've got a Bounty Hunter ban out now from 4FC. FOC are probably just looking for an offlaner and then their secondary support, and 4FC looking for their secondary support and then potentially a mid, though just another all-around solo would be great. Darkseer, as always, has that map-wide flexibility as far as lanes go. And Versus Void now going to be banned out by 4FC. I guess worth mentioning as well, with the flexibility that comes to the Gyrocopter, that he doesn't necessarily have to be your carry, he doesn't necessarily have to be a solo, he doesn't necessarily have to be a farmer, as we have seen with the oh-so-successful Akecopter from NTH. You can run a support Gyro, and even picking it up is nice to have because it can throw your opponents a little bit for a loop. They're thinking, okay, it might be a carry Gyro, we have to draft around it a little bit, and then the opposing team still has the option to just say, well, we think this carry hard counters your lineup, so we can still pick it up and just bump the Gyrocopter back, which is always nice to have. And Gyrocopter as well, I suppose. Actually, let's talk about Lifestealer for a second, and let's talk about what Lifestealer has to deal with on the side of FOTA. There was already a Batrider pickup, which is not fun for him to try and deal with. And the Gyrocopter as well, the cooldown does now slow through Magic Immunity as well, so the Rage, and that makes life significantly more difficult for Lifestealer. He's really going to have to go a build that prevents him being kited around too much, though Darkseer with the Surge will be helping him out at least to some extent, avoiding the sticky napalm and avoiding the slow from the cooldown. So as far as bans go, we've got 4FC choosing to ban out the Undying. Looks like Clockwork is going to be that offlane solo for FOTA, and Queen of Pain is going to be banned out by FOTA, since 4FC are still looking for that mid. And I mean, normally a couple of months ago we would have mentioned sort of Quap, TA, and Puck as the sort of staple mids. TA with a Batrider on the other side, and with the nerfs that she's taken, probably an unlikely pick, especially with a Gyrocopter as well, so the Queen of Pain ban making a lot of sense. And 4FC actually going to opt to pick up a Nature's Prophet here, so We'll see how this is going to be run. They could still go for an offensive tri-lane, have the Nature's Prophet either soloing mid or top. Why the sides threw me for a loop there for a second, I'm not sure. And then leverage the Nature's Prophet's power to try and tilt that potential try versus try situation in their favor, especially with the Undying ban out. There is still the option there.
Remaining.
And FOTA, if it's going to be an alternate carry, we need to see it right now, though I think we might just see them stick with the gyro. There's no carry that necessarily sticks out, and even picking up someone like a Disruptor for that tri-lane wouldn't be too bad as that secondary support, so wouldn't be too surprised to see something like that. And 4FC, if it's going to be that offensive tri-lane, what are we expecting to see? Just be nice to see a follow-up stun to the Shadow Demon, so something like Lina or Leshrac could work fantastically. Or even a Vengeful Spirit would be nice, just as sort of that soft counter to the Batrider, and help get Nakes out of some tricky situations using the swap. Especially if he's being kited. Just having that time to reset the stacks on Sticky Napalm, sort of get out of any slows that he has and then rejoin the fight can be fantastic. So yeah, FOTA, we'll see what they're going for in just a second. As far as overall tactics go, 4FC have a nice mix of split push from the Nature's Prophet. They've got some nice team fight from the Darkseer, and then a fairly good carry in the Lifestealer, but he's having even more problems as we move further into this draft with the Clockwork pickup, since Clockwork's cogs are a pain for Lifestealers. So he's not going to be having necessarily all that fun a game, and I guess if I'm going to mention something off the wall to try and deal with this, we could see a Blink Lifestealer potentially. And it's not something that we see all that much, though it can work. It's nice for initiation. But he's going to have Surge, he's going to have a potential Infest Bomb with the Nature's Prophet, so we might not necessarily see it. And Bane is going to be picked up here by Fota. So even more hate going the way of the Lifestealer. That Fiend script going to be locking him down quite effectively. And they've now got a very strong defensive or even offensive tri-lane. And 4FC, they're going to go for more combo potential. With the Nakes, they're going to opt to pick themselves up a Storm Spirit, so it's not going to be an offensive tri-lane. They're going to be playing things a little bit greedy, a little bit defensive, maybe Nature's Prophet in the jungle, Darkseer on the off lane, Storm Spirit heading towards mid, and then just the defensive duo lane up on top, trying to get some nice farm to start things out. So Clockwork, since he's only going to be against a duo, should be okay, at least until the Nature's Prophet gets a couple of levels. And just going to wait on everyone to pick up their heroes. I hopefully won't butcher the pronunciation on anyone's names, and then we'll be getting underway in a bit. But yeah, love the Storm Spirit pickup, more combos with the Nakes, and I think really just motivated by wanting to have more mobility for the Nakes. I mean, I mentioned a Blink, but the Storm Infest role is just as good, so if not better. And we'll see how Storm works out. He's not necessarily going to have a great time against things like Lasso or Cogs, buying a lot of space for Fota, but there are some fairly squishy heroes on their side, so it should be fine as far as pickoffs go. So getting into the game, over on the side of 4FC, we've got Krilly, the namesake, I suppose, of the team, playing the Darkseer. Nose is going to be on the Storm Spirit, Erez Loco is going to be on the Nature's Prophet, Strangby on the Lifestealer, and that leaves Boomski to play the Shadow Demon. Over on the side of Fota, that's Zara playing the Gyrocopter. We've got Prepare for Battle, or PFB, I suppose, if I'm looking for something short, playing the Clockwork. We've got APXAH playing the Rubik, so I guess I might be able to get away with calling him 3 or Apsa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation on your name, buddy. Dai is going to be playing the Batrider, and Stells will be playing the Bane. If anyone in chat wants to help me out with the pronunciation on this name, please feel free to. So, sort of as expected, looks like it's just going to be a defensive duo from 4FC. Storm Spirit's going to be heading towards mid. He's actually got a magic stick primed, so ready for that matchup against the Batrider, who's actually chopping down a couple of trees right now. We'll see. It might just be some mid pulls run by the Bane while Dai looks for the farm, and yeah, he's not actually cutting down more of the trees. Actually, no, we'll come all the way down to make this hard camp pull through a little bit easier. This is also the standard pattern if we see a jungle bat. Though I'm not sure if we'll see that. He's just got a Bottle Rush primed right now. Though Stells on mid also has a Bottle Rush, so it looks like it is just going to be a jungle Batrider. Could have cut down the rest of these trees, would have made life a little bit easier for himself. And you can even come over and cut down some of these trees as well to aid in the pull, but he should be fine regardless. And this is going to be trouble for Storm Spirit on mid, who is extraordinarily level dependent, though the other lanes should be able to make up for it at least a little bit. And Eros Loco actually starting off down on bot right now, trying to pull the creep wave up and around using the treants. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it all the way back to himself, so maybe trying to drop these creeps off on mid. Maybe they suspect what's going on. I don't know. Looks like he's just going to try and maintain aggro. He needs to send a second set of treants to perhaps transfer this, but I think he might have gotten it far enough that they'll actually just naturally wander into position. Prepare for battle, takes a little bit of damage up on top, but pops off the cogs. He's going to be absolutely fine, and looks like he even might have connected the cogs on Boomski, who is now short a little bit of mana. And oh, Bane, he's got a point up in Feeble. This is going to be not fun whatsoever for Nodes. As you can see, he's now down to about 25 damage. Picks up the point in Overload to try and help himself out a little bit, but with mid pulls and with the Bane, this is not going to be a fun time for Storm. And hopefully farm on the Darkseer and the Nature's Prophet will help to make up for this, because this is a lot being put the way of mid to try and shut down Nodes on this Storm Spirit. Up on top, for Paddle, just going to be throwing out another Cogs. Does manage to clip Boomski there one more time, and no mana on the Shadow Demon means maximum safety for the Clockwork, so he's just sitting up, playing aggressively right now, getting himself a little bit of farm, and soaking up some XP. Curly off in the jungle. What's happening down on bot? Eros Loco still playing extremely cautiously, just sending the treants out to have a quick poke around, see what's going on. And Dai actually just right-clicking from the high ground right now. So he's going to miss a stack, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure if he got trapped or if this is intentional. The 2-minute rune's about to spawn, but yeah, I mean, that was a two-minute spawn. He's not going to get that. And I think this is going to slow his blink down a little bit. The standard procedure is normally clear this, stack this until it's really, really big, and then clear it out later on. But actually just going for the clear right now. Has the Firefly back up in just a second, but yeah, not sure if it was intentional or a mistake getting stuck up there. The 2-minute urn is going to be an illusion down on bot, claimed by the Rubik, and Eros Loco is still just hiding down in the trees right now, so trying to soak experience. But if Rubik suspects where he is, this might actually be a kill. They've only got the telekinesis to try and cancel off the teleportation, and Eros Loco just going to be safely teleporting. No, considers it. He still wants the last little bit of this XP before the wave pushes out, and hoping that this creep dies without being denied. Oh, sorry guys, missing the first blood up on top. I guess it's not actually all that out of character for me. But yeah, sorry about that. Was paying too much attention on the under threat Eros Loco, and Strangby and Boomski managed to find a kill on the Clockwork on top. So that's our first blood drawn, and actually drawn there by the Lifestealer. So he could head towards a Hand of Midas if he would like to. So yeah, sorry about missing that kill. Strangby completely out of mana. Prepare for battle, being an absolute pest up on top, and Rubik actually scouting out a little bit with the illusions right now, but Eros Loco, he's very happy where he is right now, just waiting things out, and Zara is actually keeping the lane equilibrium right in position for him. He is suffering a bit since he's ranged, and Zara is being pretty diligent as far as the denies go, but yeah, it's an interesting tactic from him, and I'm surprised to see that the Darkseer isn't down here and the Nature's Prophet isn't up in the jungle, but 4FC have their ways. Dai, how's the farm going? Looking to get this looking to get these 2 stacks off. Not going to be able to get the small camp. Just wants to ensure the big camp, and does actually successfully do so. So making some good progress, but again, I think a little bit slowed. Knows doing okay as far as CS goes on mid, especially given that he is up against that Bane. So nothing super impressive, and Stell's leading heavily, but Knows fighting back and doing a good job. You can see that he was expecting the Batrider, but dies just chilling off in the jungle. The 4-minute urn is an invis claimed by the Rubik. Looks like he's just going to make his way towards mid. And we've almost actually got 6 up for the Bane. This creep wave might almost be enough, so Rubik might consider going for the Storm. And with the mid pulls, Nose has only just barely breached level 5, so there might have been the potential for a little bit of a kill there, but Rubik just going to decide that he wants a little bit more farm. And Eros Loco still just standing in the trees, wants to get himself back in position to try and get a little bit more XP, so there's the TP. That's pretty much the story of his game so far. And a bit of weight on Krilly's shoulders to try and get things done. Once he got up on the courier, he's got his Tranquil Boots finished, so pretty much infinite jungling from this point forward, but not actually all that much, frankly. I mean, the Tranquil Boots are expensive, and they're going to be able to maintain the jungling for a little bit longer. He's still got another Clarity in tow. But yeah, we're making our way up towards 6 minutes. Nose on mid, still not quite level 6 just yet, and the Bane does now have that Fiend's Grip up. And you're going to have the last point in the Brain Sap in just a second as well, which might frankly be enough to solo kill the Storm between the Grip and the Sap. Rubik's still down on bot, so there's not going to be any assist for the gank, and Dai actually goes all the way back to base to pick up his Tranquil Boots and heal himself up. So losing some time in this jungle, and going to have another excursion to cut down these trees a little bit if he wants to continue running some pulls. But it looks like he's just going to go for the stack right now. And yeah. 6 minute rune just about to spawn, so I'll keep an eye out for that one. Noah's playing extremely defensively on mid as he does sort of need to. 6 minute rune spawns, that's the regen up on top. And Stell's just finding some good farm on mid, has his phase boots online. So the last hitting discrepancy getting even bigger between the Enfeeble and now plus 24 damage on the Bane. We just crossed 6 minutes, so wards are going to be expiring right about now. We've got a fresh ward placed by 4FC, keeping an eye up on top lane. And they are hunting for prepare for battle. But he's nowhere to be seen. He's actually all the way back by his tower. And no degree of safety right now, especially with Era's Loco. Now up to level 4. He's got the Sprout available. And without a hookshot, Clockwork is probably going to be in trouble. So good defensive play from him. Looks like we might have a little bit of a push running from 4FC. I think there are some points up in the trance. Yeah, there are 3 points up in the trance, so they can actually try and claim this one fairly easily. We've got a disruption up. Another TP in from Era's Loco. Prepare for battle. In trouble. Actually blocked in there by the disruption illusions with the cogs. Tries to make his escape, but one more slap down from Strangby going to be finding him that kill. And that's the second kill going his way. He's still got that Midas up as well, so this Snake's starting to look fairly formidable and doing a little bit better than the Gyrocopter as well. As far as farm goes, we've got a gank on mid. The Fiend's Grip up on nose. He doesn't have enough mana left to roll away. The Flame Breakthrough going to be finishing off that kill. So Fota finding an almost inevitable kill on mid. The tier 1 tower will fall. Up on top, there's no fortification available at the moment. Rocket flying in to do a little bit of harassment, but that's about it. I think we've got Soul Ring finished up for Darkseer, so Krilly thankful for that tower gold, though we didn't need it for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. Fota are going to try and put some pressure on the bottom lane right now, but it's really slow. They do have the maxed out flat cannon on the Gyrocopter, and he's actually opted to go for a Hand of Midas as well. In a straight on farm fight, I mean, Gyrocopter does have the advantage of being edgy as far as the overall comparison goes, and he's got pretty good base move speed to try and kite the Nakes around. But Nakes' item progression is a little bit more direct as far as killing the Gyrocopter goes, while Gyrocopter is really looking to deal with the rest of 4FC's team, which could be trouble. Era's Loco now going to be making his way into the jungle to try and find a little bit of farm. Try and recover from the offlane, frankly, since Krilly can now look to be a little bit more active with sort of the core of the Soul Ring and Tranquils up, and could even opt to head down towards bot to try and pick up some farm. Knows a tiny bit of space for him on mid, but not a whole lot, and still doing a really good job as far as farm goes, especially given that he was against the Bane, and he was eating Enfeeble spam, and Bane's animation is actually quite good. Strangby has his treads now finished. I'm interested to see that he's going for the treads, especially given, again, how much kiting that he's dealing with. I mean, I think I've already run over it on Fota, but I mean, without surges, I think he's going to be having trouble in these fights. Would normally expect to see something like a Drum and Phase, given that he's dealing with so much, given that he's dealing with so many slows, so many ways to stop him in rage. But I guess to each their own, and everybody has a little bit of their own lifestealer build. As far as warding goes right now, we've got another fresh ward up for 4FC, so keeping tabs on everything, and it's actually pretty defensive signaling right now from Fota. Keeping an eye on anything coming in on the tier 2, so just buying their Gyrocopter some farming space, and yeah, just predominantly covering the entrances to their jungle, trying to get that farm up on the Gyro. So it's about a 1 kill lead right now for 4FC. 1k XP actually in favor of the Radiant, since they've been getting full XP in every lane. And also getting that little bit of farm from the Batrider jungle, and about a 250 gold lead for them as well. Yeah, so that's the story as far as the graphs are concerned. Notices double damage picked up. Boomsy's going to make his way in towards mid, but the wave is pushing in, and Bane is now safely back behind his tower. He's got Fiend's Grip available as well, so hopefully going to be looking to make use of that quite soon. since it does have a reasonably low cooldown. And at this early stage of the game, it should pretty much be a kill every single time it's up. Nose finds himself a lucky regen, and should be able to get quite a bit done with this, especially with the double damage up. Krilly comes in towards mid. He's got 2 points up with the Surge to try and initiate perhaps with Boomski, and Bane, there's no easy out for him. We've got a Conk, we've got a Centaur Conqueror going to stack some Ancients, but Stell's now initiated on the roll in from Nose. The double damage as well going to work, and the TP support the TP support was immediate, but not quite enough for the bursted down Bane, and wasn't even able to Nightmare himself to buy a little bit of time. We've got an even greedier build from the Gyrocopter, and as we saw that Centaur, so he's got the Helm of the Dominator. We saw the Centaur, we've got the TP threatened in. He comes in with the infested Nakes. Zara is now in trouble. He's going to throw down some rocket barrage damage, but Strangby just walking straight in, and the Medallion of Courage also up on Era's Loco. Nice little pick off there. We're going to have a rocket fly through as well. They're not connecting on anyone, so Era's Loco going to be fine to back himself off. And the nice thing about the Medallion as well, if 4FC can use their push effectively, claim this tier 1 on mid, Roshan is a fairly soft target for them. So prepare for battle, now up to level 7, looking to make something happen with the hookshot, but hasn't found anyone just yet. They've got some pretty good vision on Era's Loco right now, and Strangby, the hookshot comes in along with the Fiend Script in over the top, but Era's Loco, not sure how that sprout worked, but it popped Strangby over the top of the cogs, and split Prepare for Battle away. Nose comes in, pops out the stick charges to try and stay alive, putting out some good damage, and now the call down in over the top. Zara joins this fight. Strangby drops low. He doesn't have enough well, he's actually used the Infest already. Nose still going to work, is now Nightmared, stuck in the cogs, can roll himself over the top and Prepare for Battle. Going to be backing himself off with the Soul Catcher. Oh, Nose still trying to make his escape. The Rubik comes in from the side. Boomski going to be thrown back to Fota. And you're going to be able to grab at least 1 kill after everything that they threw down on this bottom lane. Strangby's stuck in the trees, though looks like Fota haven't kept tabs on him. So he's going to be waiting around until that TP scroll is available. And he's actually switched to Int Treads to try and speed that up as much as he possibly can. Krilly this whole time has been putting pressure on top. Not able to find a new tower just yet. Dai comes in. He's got his Blink Dagger finished, though without any support. Looks like he's not going to be able to find a kill in the Dark Sword. No, now goes for it. Can't auto attack. They're throwing out a few more stacks. Krilly's just going to surge himself. Heads down. He does have a TP available, but Bat Rider does still have the Flame Break, so Krilly needs to be careful. Flame Break knocks through, knocks Krilly away. He could just TP out right now. Perhaps going to surge. Still trying to buy time. Not 100% sure why. Just trying to make his escape without using the TP scroll. There's no TP support coming in just yet, but now 3 stacks up and still a little bit away from that surge. There isn't a Flame Break just yet, but I think this auto attack might do it. It will be enough. I'm not sure at all why he didn't TP out, frankly, but anyway. So that's it. An easy kill picked up by Dai and bringing the kill discrepancy back down to 1 for Fota. XP swung back in the Dire favor a little bit, but now just bumping back towards 0. And pretty much nothing in it as far as the gold goes as well. Nose picks himself up a couple of cheap items to start the game off, and always nice on a Quap or a Storm. Well, he's getting Fiend Script right now. They need to get the telekinesis up into the air. Is this going to be enough? Nice hook shot from Prepare for Battle. Jeez, I'm going to be able to find that kill. So nicely coordinated. Bane doesn't have his Blink Dagger up. We're going to see some Blink Bane action, and I love Blink Bane. It's one of my favorite item builds, favorite hero item combinations, whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous ganking potential, and it's great initiation as well. If you're manly enough to pull it off, you can immediately lock down a couple of heroes and die. Now grabs Strangby up on top, pops out the armlet for some survivability, and does still have the Infest available, but all the creeps are already taken care of. The creep wave is coming in and buying a little bit of time. Will now be able to get into the Infest. That's a full health creep. Support now coming in. Krilly joins the fight. Nicely played by Strangby to survive there. And Krilly gets a little bit of damage on the creep. Strangby says, "Don't do that. I need the full health," and he's just going to pop himself out. So nicely avoided gank, and it was a Bat Rider lasso invested in exchange for the Infest. So Fota denied there. Boomski sitting duck on mid, though manages to get the disruption off. No support coming in just yet. There's the Purge, and Stell's no Fiend Script available. Is there going to be any sort of punish? Krilly comes in from the side. He's got the Ion Shell, and Stell's still chasing. He wants this kill, but the roll through the vacuum back. Boomski survives. Oh no, he doesn't. A nice Flame Break. The blink away from Dai. Fantastic play from him, and stretching the limits perfectly, but doing a good job. So a 1-for-1 exchange on mid brings us back to full, brings us up to 5 for 5, the overall trade. Strang B down on bot, finding a little bit more farm. As you can see, he's finished up his armlet. And Zara still just stacking up these Ancients. Still just going for an extraordinarily greedy Gyrocopter build. Midas and Helm with the Dominator. Dominator doesn't really give him all that much as far as participation goes. So it's just straight out farm. The Midas is a farm accelerator, which he used to get another farm accelerator. So yeah, it's greed right now from the Gyrocopter, but he hasn't been forced into participating just yet. And only one death going his way, so not being punished, and it's working out quite well. And switching over to the net worth, since we're 50 minutes in, not sure why I'm still in last hits and eyes. You can see that Nakes, with just the armlet, well, with just the Midas, is a little bit ahead right now, and Jaro doesn't have anything on the courier. So that is his accurate net worth right now. Strang B drops low from Raj. Doesn't have enough mana to open wounds either. A rocket through might actually kill him. It's a call down in over the top. Nice initiation from Prepare for Battle, and the call down gonna wipe out Ares Loco immediately. Zara just going to work. Nose jumps in, but the Fiend's grip up on him. Krilly now in trouble. Lifts it up into the air. A big roll in from the Rubik. That one's stolen. Boomski probably gonna be dropping in just a second. One stack up. Buys Stells enough time. He just needs one right click. Boomski might be able to deny himself to the neutrals. Jukes a little bit, but a double kill for the Bane. And oh, Roshan now in the hands of fota. 4 kills, no deaths. Roshan as well. That is a huge pickup for them. And a bunch of gold going the way of the Gyrocopter as well. Now up to 2.4k. So really unfortunate for 4FC there. And just being cleaned up, frankly. Ares Loco making his way towards a mech. And trying to push out the tier 2 tower up on top, but support should be coming in quite soon. And the big problem for 4FC is trying to split push. There's always going to be the blink initiation from the Bat Rider. There's always going to be hookshot initiation from Prepare for Battle. And there's a blink dagger up on the Bane as well. It's just absolutely terrifying for any hero on 4FC to move anywhere near where fota might have vision at the moment. And doing a pretty good job of it right now. It's still fairly defensive from them. They're still sort of aiming late with the Gyrocopter pickup. Again, he still needs to wait around to clear out the Ancients. He's still trying to get as much out of the Midas as he possibly can, but with the Aegis in hand, they should be able to probably leverage that for the tier 1 tower on mid and maybe the tier 1 tower up on top. And pushing top would mean that Ares Loco can't put any split pressure on and would be a bit of a help. But right now they're just going to head towards mid. And with the Aegis up, 4FC have to be hesitant about trying to take this fight. And tier 1 already dropping low. Fortification is available, but 4FC choosing not to use it. They're just going to let Ares Loco put pressure up on top lane. And they really don't want him to die before he gets that mech up again. So tier 1, well, Fortification was popped. And Rubik actually getting the last hit on that tower, though. Again, Zara with all of this farm. Not sure if he's really all that concerned. Looks like he'd lost his neutral somewhere along the way. Okay, so that's a little bit interesting, but he's still got a couple of stacks up, and now fota still Aegis, still just pushing, using the advantage to its fullest extent. It's going to be heading up towards top and stopping the pesky Ares Loco from slow pushing out. Krilly is heading down towards bot to try and go for a little bit of a push of his own, and he does have the support in from Ares Loco. They've almost got the mech, they've almost got the pipe. No, almost got the pipe. 2 big team fight pickups for 4FC coming up in just a second, but they need a little bit more tower gold. So definitely loving the decision. fota's heading up towards top. They're not really going to be able to contest this tier 1, but what they can do is trade. Fortification is going to pop. Stell's going to make his way down. He's got a haste. He's got a blink. Looks like it's going to be okay. And TP support now actually coming in. Krilly's going to split to the left. The immediate Fiend's grip up on him. And is the Bat Rider going to be able to find... Bat Rider's not going to be able to find Aegis Prophet. Stacking the Fiend's grip and the lasso there. So tower was killed. What? No. So that was a tower kill by the Dire. The mid tower fell to Strang B. I wasn't sure how the Lifestealer got the last hit on that tower, but yeah, the mid tower goes down to Strang B, and the tier 1 up on top taken by the Dire, with a kill going the way of fota at the same time. So a fairly even trade overall, but I mean, kills, unlike towers, aren't always going to be available, and Stell's in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't have that haste anymore, just going to be slapped down. Looks like he might have been waiting around for the 20-minute rune, but there's an Observer Ward, there's a Sentry Ward, and he was a fairly easy target there. And 4FC just going to be camping out the rune at the moment. They don't know what it is, but they do know it's top. Ares Loco just threatening a couple of TPs in on mid. 4FC really do have to just wait around until this Aegis is down. So that's about 2 minutes wait for them. They've now got the mech finished, so that's a huge pickup. I mean, we saw how devastating the call down was in that fight in the Roshan pit. The Cogs was there, and the call down just slammed Ares Loco. I mean, pretty much was the only damage that killed him off, and it was a rank 2 call down as well. Zara does now have a Demon Edge picked up, so probably going to be seeing an MKB coming from him. And there are still about 2 minutes left on this Aegis, so fota not done just yet. It's really just up to 4FC to stall. They've got 1 point up in the Darkseer ultimate right now, and Krilly actually exchanging a point in vacuum. For that one, fota looking for the initiation on mid, and they've got so many ways to do it. Keeping vision down with the rocket. I mean, Ares Loco nowhere to be seen. He's down on bot, realizing that they can't really look to contest this. And I mean, look at the positioning from 4FC. They're all the way back up behind their hill. They know that there's 2 blinks and the hook shot up, and they can't even afford to be within 2,000 range of fota if they think they can't take a team fight. So fota gonna back off. We almost got a BKB finished up on the Bane, and there's no way to interrupt BKB Fiend's Grip on 4FC right now, so that's gonna be a pretty big pickup. There is a tower taken up on top by 4FC, so they're actually still finding trades all around the map as fota continue to 5-man push, so doing a good job there. It's about a 7.5k XP lead in favor of the Radiant right now, and about a 4k gold lead, but mitigated nicely by 4FC. But as you can see, the greedy Gyrocopter build is now pulling him very far ahead. He's cleared out the stack, so that's the source of that Demon Edge, but already 3.3k gold up in the bank. He's going to have that MKB in just a second if he wants it, and I always mess myself up. Javelins are not sold in the side shop, so we can't finish it there. We've got a disruption on Boomski, in fact, so just going to be sending the illusions out to try and deal with this ward. They don't last quite long enough, so they've still got vision of it, but nobody wants to go through. Again, they don't know where fota are, and if they're smoked anywhere near this, then you've got 2500 range hook shot on the clock, and then you've got a 1200 range blink on both the Bane and the Batrider, and that's just absolutely terrifying. So 4FC continue to do a little bit of split pushing up on top. Working his way towards a Hex, TP down towards bot, Strangby eating the call down damage right now, Fiend's Grip up on him as well, and Darkseer already dead, Strangby going to be killed off, and Die trying to get into this fight, trying to make his escape, and now Zara, Soul Catcher up on him, no Aegis anymore, the sleep up on Nose, prepare for battle, still chasing through, nice defensive disruption, buying some time, but the mech does pop over, and Zara still just going to work, Nose is going to drop, Boomski dies from one more right click, and it's a 4-0 exchange in favor of fota. And what did Darkseer manage to get off before he died? He did manage to get off the pipe, but still dropping regardless, and still had that wall. So not sure what actually initiated on him. Sorry, missed the beginning of the team fight. Was watching Nose TP himself in, but it must have been the lasso to pick him off before the fight started. Since we saw the Fiend's Grip used later on Strangby, and fota just gonna head themselves straight up onto the high ground. They've got a little bit of time. They do know that the wall is still up on the Darkseer, so they will probably just back themselves off right now after getting some damage down. But no big rush for them. Gyrocopter's farming fantastically. He's got some big pickups coming along, and if fota are feeling ballsy, we could see a Rapier on this Gyrocopter with this next Aegis if they do manage to grab it. But I mean, if it was going to be Monkey King Bar, I would have expected to see it already, but we haven't just yet. So then 6.2k in the bank. It might just be Satanic and Rapier for fota. We'll have to see how ballsy the Gyrocopter is feeling right now. So BKB going to be finished up for Stells in just a second. Just needs 60 gold. No big deal there. Die. We saw that Force Staff come into play in the last fight. Prepare for Battle has that mech, which did a great job in diving the tower. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Rubik doesn't have a whole lot to talk of, but even more Force Staffs coming online quite soon is going to be more problems for the Nakes. He's got his Desolator up now, so 4FC have some fantastic push potential, and if Strangby can actually get on a target, then he is looking really lethal right now, but the problem is just being kited around. Again, Fiend's Grip, Lasso, and even just the Sticky Napalm really hurting him. And we've got a Butterfly up for the Gyrocopter, so it's actually an outright Butterfly for him. So we've got progress towards both an MKB and a Yasha, but going for the Butterfly. So He's still got plenty more farm to pick up. That's a Satanic, that's a Manta Style, and that's an MKB, or perhaps question mark Rapier, if Fota are far enough ahead, but yeah. The Butterfly, can't argue with the pickup, nice against the lifesteal. I'm not sure why I didn't think of it. I guess just being distracted by the partially complete items in his inventory right now. Ares Loco, not a whole lot of item progression for him. Rosh going to be up in about a minute, so for FC. Trying to put some pressure out on the lanes. Nose still making his way towards a Hex, but not all that close. And right now, 4FC just trying to use their split push as best they can to force Fota back. If they can force TPs, they can head into the Roshan pit, but are Fota going to have any of this? This smoke was not detected by a ward, but they are walking past an OBS and a sentry right now, so 4FC are going to be running for the hills. All of their TPs going actually straight back to the fountain, so just really defensive from them. And Fota might be able to take this opportunity to just push the lane out and then head into the pit. Roshan going to be respawning in just a few seconds. Top lane is pushing in right now, and Ares Loco just going to TP himself straight in, looking to do a little bit of de-warding. He's missing an extreme amount. Uphill, and I'll prepare for battle. If he only knew that it was only Ares Loco here, he might have attempted that hook shot, but not going to be going for it. And no, it's still such a long way away from that Hex. Strangby, 2.8k gold up in the bank. He is going. Well, a couple of heroes are going to have buyback available for this next fight. If anyone wants to check in on that. And Stells does not have his BKB finished up, so it's a full duration BKB. Online and ready to go for him. Fota, no rush, just going to be pushing out this bottom lane. Top lane is going to be pushed in a little bit by 4FC, so both teams just vying for positioning on the Roshan pit right now, but Ares Loco going to be caught out. Flame Break bounced up into the air as well, and a nice kill picked up. Tries to get the Nature's Prophet ultimate out to put some more pressure down. But it's looking like a little bit of a base race. The fortification is going to pop off for the Radiant side as well. And they're just going straight up onto the high ground. There isn't a buyback available for the Nature's Prophet. He's very, very close. If they could just kill a tower somewhere, he could buy back. But Fota's straight up onto the high ground. 4k gold up in the Gyrocopter. The tier 3 already gone. Does now have enough for the buyback. Stells jumps in. Defensive disruption does actually cancel off that Fiend Script. Nicely played. The Cog's going to work the wall, causing chaos as well. One already dead. Krilly trying to make his escape. And Gyrocopter just standing his ground. Krilly dropping low. Nose forced to buy back. Just wanting to defend the racks right now. Stell's in a little bit of trouble. Nose, big roll back through and die. Now in a little bit of trouble. Manages to force staff himself out, but one more right click will be finishing him off. The Purge up on prepare for battle. And where is Zara as this is happening? Backing himself off, leaving the Clockwork to his demise. So a nice defense from 4FC. We've got a disconnect as well from the disconnected Nature's Prophet. I've got a disconnect as well from the dead Nature's Prophet. He's a little bit redundant to say he's disconnected twice, but tier 3 went down. Vrax still alive, no fortification available from 4FC, but a big investment to hold on to that one. The buyback was used. I think the buyback was actually used from Ares Loco, and as well for Nose. We can't see it right now since he's disconnected, but yeah, that is not a nice way to have to defend your Rax. And I'm not sure if they can even head into the Rosh pit right now. Both teams will have to be very painfully aware of that one. Zara, ridiculous amount of farm up on him. Another 5k gold up in the bank. And we'll see. 4FC, they're heading the way of Rosh. Right now they've got a couple of Treants, and the Desolator going to be making fairly quick work of it. And who's got buyback on the Radiant? Bane, yes. Clockwork, yes. And we do also have a buyback up on the Batrider. So if they desperately want to defend this, they probably can. TP to bot, TP to mid, pop some smokes, and get into position. Roshan is obviously still on full HP right now. Force staff almost finished for the Rubik. He's actually pretty much got that as soon as he heads back to base. And Zara can actually just look to lifesteal up a little bit with the Satanic without having to head back, though. We'll have to see. They might have to give up Roshan just by virtue of how much HP Gyro has left at the moment. And he's not really all that tanky. It's damage with no health, damage with no health, damage with no health, lifesteal with some armor, and then just edgy treads at the moment. We've got to reconnect now from Nature's Prophet, so hopefully we'll be getting back underway in just a second and seeing how this next Roshan is going to possibly play out. And I'm just going to have my very last sip of water, guys. Looks like we are ready to go. Woohoo! And yeah, there's mass buybacks from Fota. They do not want to give up this Roshan, and that should probably be enough to scare 4FC back. And Zara actually getting enough health back up from the lifesteal to be fine, so yeah. And 4FC just going to be backing themselves off. Loco has now respawned, but just going to be TPing himself in towards the neutrals. 4FC, nice that they managed to force out all of those buybacks, so the fight going a little bit better than it sort of looked at face value, but I think Fota should be able to claim Roshan here regardless, just with the advantageous position that they are in. And Gyrocopter's going to have his next big item up in just a second if he wants some more survivability. The Satanic's going to be there in just a second. And again, if he is feeling large and in charge, Aegis plus Divine Rapier is a potential for him. So fingers crossed for Rapier. We probably won't see it, but keep that in mind. And 4FC need to be so careful getting near this pit. There isn't vision for Fota right now to try and find these aggressive pickoffs. But there can be with Firefly from Dai. He's going to pop that off right now. Going to sleep up on Krilly. The drag back. Boomski. Oh, they get a nice Vortex off on Dai, but the hook shot up into the high ground of the 4-staff away from Dai. Looks like he's going to be fine right now, but No still wants his kill. Standing in the Firefly and the call down. In over the top. Roshan does go down in the vacuum out. Zara actually finds himself in the middle of everyone. Nice advantageous position, and Stells just standing his ground. We've still got Krilly chasing after the Rubik. That's pretty much all he can do at the moment. Now out of mana, Rubik running circles, 4-staffs himself away, says someone come and help. The lift up into the air, still alive for now. He's got a tango. Doesn't have to use it just yet. There's the sleep. There's Cogs ready for prepare to battle, and that's going to be Krilly's death right this second. And there's the Divine Rapier for Zara. So he got the Aegis. He got vacuumed up onto the high ground, and he went to work. So this is looking great for Fota. Should be able to claim 2 racks off this. The wall was used in that last fight, and yeah, just what play from Fota. I have to say, a team that I haven't seen before this match, but doing fantastically. And this Gyrocopter just doesn't care about anything right now. I think if you had, I mean, his level of caring is 0. I'm trying to come up with a clever way to say it, but he's just absolutely ridiculous. And another 2.5k gold up in the bank, so that next item going to be, well, coming forthwith. Loco tries to split push down on bot. Dai comes down to try and slow that one. Oh, and Krilly, nice hook shot from Prepare for Battle. Gonna find that kill. Fota finds himself, Zara finds himself another tower. What's he got finished? Is that a Satanic? Yes, it is. They've got a Satanic, they've got an Aegis. This Gyrocopter, I think, is too big to fail right now, and Loco not even trying right now. Going to be TPing himself in, but that Blink Dagger initiation, still quite scary. Dai a little bit away. The BKB is going to pop off from Stells, just zoning 4FC back, and they're going to grab Boomski this time. No defensive disruption to cancel that. The jump in from 4FC. Strangby in the middle of this, but dragged out now of the Cogs to prepare for battle. Still alive. Strangby going to drop, and killing spree will double kill for the Bane. And Fota just, I mean, Zara just melting everyone there. 5 dead for 4FC. I mean, no buybacks available. The GG well played is going to be called, and what a game. Gyrocopter showing his full carry potential, and nicely played. So I'm going to wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs. This was a game from the group stage of Starseries Season 5. This is the very first day of this tournament. That's pretty much going to be it for me. There is still one more game coming up for this tournament, but I need to go and get a little bit of shut-eye. I've been Baseskip bringing you guys this game, so thanks everyone for tuning in. If you guys have any feedback for me as far as my casting goes, then please do leave me a message in chat, or if you're watching this as a VOD, then leave a comment on the YouTube video, I suppose. Or if you want to send me, I guess, some more personal feedback, then send me an email at baseskipdota@gmail.com. I'm always happy to receive feedback on my casting. If you guys have any replays as well that you'd like me to cover, scrims, anything like that, I do daily casting practice, so I'm always happy to cover pretty much whatever. We've got a rampage right now from Zara, but yeah. Just my email for any contact. Love to hear back from you guys. Thanks for tuning in for this broadcast, and I hope to see you in the future. If you guys want to support me, you know the whole shtick. There's Twitter, there's YouTube, there's everything aside from Facebook, really, and the name is always Baseskip. So if you guys want to subscribe to me or follow me or all those things, you know where to look. But thanks everyone for tuning in. That's going to be it for me as far as Starseries goes tonight. I might hang out with you guys for a couple of minutes, but yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in.